Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome. So, I wanted to make my first hypergamous film review to talk about Tyler Perry's Netflix debut film, A Fall from Grace, and to talk about the number one reason why women fall for con men and what women can learn from this movie. Now, before I begin, Tyler Perry's films have always, for the most part, been hit or miss for me. But I think Tyler Perry is great in what he does. But we all know that Tyler Perry needs to evolve in his filmmaking skills, and that Tyler Perry needs a writer's room, and that he needs serious help in developing a stronger plot lines, and he seriously needs to improve upon strengthening his overdone cliched narratives. And he most definitely needs to fire whomever is making these distracting, crazy looking, a life of their own Dollar General busted wigs. But with Tyler Perry, what you see is what you get, and in spite of it all, the B, C, and D listed movies and television shows are a success, a huge success. They are his formula and they are his bread and butter. So, this film review is not about the quality of the movie, A Fall from Grace per se, as much as it's about the concept and the common narcissistic cautionary tale of women who are exploited and unsuspectingly preyed upon by both men and women. Now, if you haven't seen the film, stop watching this video immediately. Stop watching now. I won't be telling every nook and cranny of this story, but there will be spoilers. Now, A Fall from Grace is a thriller film written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry about a single mature woman named Grace Waters, played by the beautiful actress Crystal Fox, who is recently divorced, and her husband abandoned her to eventually marry his secretary, who is half his age. And the character Grace is also a mother who owns her own home. She's financially independent, and by personal choice, she doesn't receive any alimony. She's gainfully employed, and she's also an empty nester. However, she is also the mother of an adult son whose wife she doesn't quite get along with. So after Grace's divorce, and her son being married to a woman that she doesn't particularly care for, this mature woman, Grace Waters, is pretty much an isolated empty nester. And the one thing that I noticed in this film is that Grace lacked a community and a true friendship circle, which is often the case with empty nesters. The one exception, however, is her quote unquote good friend Sarah, which is a role played by the legendary Felicia Rashad. So, as the story goes, her bestie Sarah encourages her to go to an artist opening at an art gallery, and then she meets a very much younger and attractive quote unquote artist slash super evil villain named Shannon, played horribly by actor Mekad Brooks. And the character Shannon goes out of his way to flirt with Grace and flatter her and consequently chase her and aggressively pursue her and makes her the object of his affection. And like a textbook narcissist, that is what they do. They are very persistent. They smother you with unearned praise and affection to lower your defenses. Now, most of you who've seen my Little Mo video on mature women with younger men are aware of the huge giant red flags that are usually a part of the older woman slash younger man dynamic. Now, I think what's important to discuss here is loneliness, and how loneliness, not logic, is a big driver in poor decision making, and how loneliness is the main reason why women get swept up in the lies of con men. And when a person is lonely, rationality and logic are usually the first to go, because no matter your level of independence or accomplishment or home ownership or business ownership, or no matter the kind of car you drive or the house you own, no one likes to feel lonely, because loneliness is painful and loneliness hurts and loneliness feels empty and unfulfilling. And everyone has the desire to have someone to care. And when a person has a drought in companionship, they are ripe for deception and exploitation, especially when they lack standards and a feminine education and the ability to properly vet men, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel. Now, ladies and lurkers who are listening, I don't like calling women dumb or stupid or even the saying that a woman should know better. Those are snap judgments that I try to avoid because I find that people are inclined to do what they know no matter their age. And if people really quote unquote knew better, then none of us would ever make mistakes. And we all make mistakes and we all will get caught slipping or will get caught up in a poor assessment or judgment of character at least once in our lifetime. So, of course, as the story goes on, attraction turns into courting, and courting turns into dating, and dating turns into a proposal, and a proposal turns into lust. And of course, Grace's defenses are eventually broken down, and this mature woman, beautiful woman, who clearly lacks vetting skills, ends up falling completely in love and completely smitten with the delusion that this younger man used to seduce and deceive her with. Now, in movies, you have to suspend your belief so that you can be entertained by the narrative of seeing this woman, Grace Waters, being targeted and taken advantage of by a dangerous, dangerous man. And of course, we are all committed to seeing how the story turns the corner and eventually how it plays itself out. So, as expected, the mask of her narcissistic mental case now husband, the mask drops once he secured and conned his mature wife out of her bag and out of her resources. And I will leave the story at that. But I wanted to leave my listeners with some information on how to better vet men, on how to better discern men at any stage or at any age of your life. So here are 7 things that a feminine and or hypergamous woman should consider or learn to avoid being taken advantage of. 1. Ladies, learn how to properly vet men. A man should always be gainfully employed, preferably with a career of his own, not a struggling artist who doesn't have a bank account. A woman should always be aware of where a man is earning his keep. Number 2, a woman should always have an idea of where a man rests his head. A woman should always know where a man lives. And this was not displayed in the film A Fall from Grace at all. Number 3, stop using perfect strangers and your friends as a therapist. Instead, I highly recommend that you develop a relationship with a mental health professional. Ladies, I get it. We all want to use our friends and our families and our loved ones and lovers for venting. But stop assuming that your girlfriends or the man that you are sleeping with has the intention of having your best interests. Our friends are not always equipped to handle our deep, complex feelings about being abandoned or going through a divorce. And in this film, Grace took it upon herself to overtrust, to talk about her ex-husband and her nasty divorce and her personal feelings for her daughter-in-law and all of the vulnerabilities that come with venting. So ladies, stop being so vulnerable and gullible and naive with perfect strangers. Number 4, always test a man's patience and his level of tick tick boom before you marry anyone or get serious with anyone. Ladies, a woman should always know how a man is inclined to handle his anger. Number 5, always get a man to talk about his mother. Ladies, if his feelings about mommy dearest are negative, don't walk, run. Most men are trained to say that they love and respect their mothers, but a better question to ask a man is, how did your mother treat you growing up? If he says his mother treated him like dirt, or abandoned him to go party, or left him to be raised by his toxic grandmother who beat him senselessly every day, or his mother dropped him off in the middle of the woods, or she never pushed him in a swing, or she put beer in his baby bottle instead of milk, run, don't walk. Men are abused, okay? And you need to hear this, ladies. Men are abused and abandoned and damaged by their mothers every day. So vetting him about his mother should always be a standard for women, especially for feminine and hypergamous women. Number 6, understand the difference between lust and love. Lust is an intense physical attraction and can happen when two people have amazing sexual chemistry. But sexual chemistry is not love, so never confuse the two. And number seven, always make a man spend. Ladies, the truth about who a man is always in his wallet, and a man's wallet will always snitch on him. And in the film A Fall from Grace, Shannon, the character Shannon, did not visibly spend one dime on Grace. So, ladies, if he's broke, he will expect you to cover for him and provide for him. And if he is poor, he will sell you a sob story and expect you to help him. And if he's a narcissist with money, he will not be generous. He will be quite stingy. And the less a man spends on you, the easy it is for him to get over on you. But the more a man invests in you, the more he is inclined to respect his investment. What if a man spends nothing on you, not a dime? There is no risk, and if there is no risk, there is no loss. And that is why most men can easily walk away from most women, because most women make themselves easy targets because they lack zero hypergamous ground rules. Overall, A Fall from Grace is Tyler Perry's lane of highlighting the betrayal stories that affect Black women. But the ending of this film felt rushed and was handled very clumsily and overall lacked very poor execution. But water is wet when it comes to a Tyler Perry production. So stay tuned for more movie reviews to come, and I will catch up with you guys in the next one.